Ah, you fight like your father. Yes, indeed, you are a Dogtanian. Ah.
I beg you, monsieur, I am no longer a child. I am a man.
And so you are, my good lad. I just can't help regarding you as my own son.
Well, Monsieur Tréville,
What's the matter?
Well, my father gave me a letter to give to you, but, well, I'm afraid that it was stolen.
Stolen? Who stole it?
Well, a man with a black mustache in Marne.
In Marne, A man with a mustache? Do you suppose that he took the letter because he knew that it was intended for me?
That I cannot say, sir.
Never mind. We'll discuss all that later. Now, come, tell me about your father. Come sit by me.
This is wonderful, may I?
But of course, I suspect your father must have told you much about me.
Well, he said you were friends.
Ah, yes. Well, your father and I are more than just mere friends. We've always been like brothers.
My father and you, monsieur?
Precisely. We once took an oath that we would both give our lives, if necessary, defending the country of France. Later on, the winds of fate made our lives progress along different paths. Hasn't your father told you much about that part of his life?
No.
That is so much like the man that I once knew. He was always so modest and never made much of his courageous feats in the defense of our land. Before you were born, our beloved France was torn by a cruel civil war. Brothers shed the blood of their brothers. It was then that Henry IV, King of Navarre, rose up in arms to achieve the unity of France. We fought on the side of King Henry throughout the entire country. Your father was in command of the troops that would fight the famous Battle of St. Bartholomew. When faced with the decision to kill hundreds of innocents, women and children included, he took a heroic stand and decided not to fire.
Come on, Dogtanian, give the order to fire. What's the matter with you now? Lost your courage?
I cannot order that.
If you cannot do it, I shall. Fire!
That is the reason why he decided to resign from the Royal Army. When His Majesty found out the reason, he tried to convince your father to stay on, but to no avail. Before we parted, I made him promise me that if ever he had a son, he would send him to Paris under my protection as soon as he could handle a sword.
I knew nothing of this.
Oh, that reminds me. This is for you.
It's beautiful. I wanted to buy it the other day, but I just couldn't afford it.
A young lady named Juliet brought it to me. She said she knew you'd be coming to see me.
She brought this for me?
Who is this young lady?
Oh, she's just a good friend of mine, that's all. Look, she gave me this handkerchief once. It smells so fragrant.
You don't resemble your father at all.
Pardon me, Monsieur Tréville, sir?
Nothing. Well then,
Oh, one of those gadgets to see from afar. May I use it?
certainly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Monsieur Tréville. You are most kind. Oh, boy, this is terrific. Look, you can see clear across the yard. Oh, boy. Oh, it's the man with the black mustache. Thank you, Monsieur Tréville. I must go now.
How puzzling. How can father and son be so different?